Sometimes you feel like you have too many moving parts. There's too much for you to control. But there's not too much for law of attraction to manage. And all you have to do is look among the moving parts, pick a target that feels good to you, focus upon it until you've established it as your set point, lock into it and maintain it, and then law of attraction will give you feedback to let you know how well you've done. By locking into it, we mean focus upon it until you feel the relief. Let's add this to it. This is really good. Find the general place and lock into it till it's boring. Find a more specific place and play around with it until it feels really good. Then lock into it until it feels boring. And then feel around and find the place until it feels good, and then lock into it. Most humans offer most of their vibration, and so their point of attraction is mostly caused by what they are observing. And since they are using their visual sense and auditory sense, in other words, you're using your physical senses to observe, you're observing all kinds of different vibrational things. You're watching things on television or reading things in your newspapers. So you are locking onto things because they're around you to see, not being very picky or selective. It's just there to see, so you see it. But when you begin to explore what's in your vortex, where it hasn't manifested yet, so there's no manifested car to see in your garage or no manifested lover to find in your bed, is a vibrational version of it, then sometimes, since it's easier to just observe than it is to subtly interpret the vibration, you just observe, which means you hold yourself in a mixed vibration. I like that, I don't like that, I want that, I don't want that. And so your point of attraction is scattered and bringing you more of all of that. Once you decide that you're going to explore the subtle vibrations, which means you have to feel your way there, you can't just observe, then what happens is you think and feel and think and feel and think and feel. You have to be aware. Esther would say to Jerry as they were driving sometimes, she would say, I don't know what I was thinking about, but I don't feel good. And he'd say, well, what conversation were you having in your mind? And sometimes it would take her a little while to trace herself back to what it was that was bothering her. But there always is a vibrational root. And every time you are bothered by something, it always means the same thing. It means that what you've got active, which means something you're thinking about, is a different opinion than your inner being, who has an opinion on the same subject. Yeah. And if you can just remember that, but think about it. We just had this conversation a minute ago. It's really, really the next leading edge conversation that we're going to have in all of this. Your inner being is always more general. Ooh. You're the specific part of it. So your inner being is always more general. Now, stay there with us. You like that? Are you feeling the relief of that?
Yeah.
Your inner being is more general. Your inner being is focused upon what you want in a more general place. So you can always go back to that more central, more centered, more stable, more sure place, and then reach forward to be more specific again. And you can tell by the way you feel whether you're feeling your way in the direction of what you want. And then once the momentum starts happening, suddenly you come out of what feels like darkness because you're not using your eyes when you're feeling emotionally, and suddenly it all lights up and you know exactly what to do. You see it, the idea flows to you. That happened in the moment that you found a way to stop offering the static resistance. Pure positive energy is like the cork up there floating on the surface of the water. Hold it under the water, that's what resistance is. But when you let go, it will float right back up again. So when you stop doing that thing, so don't try too hard. That's really what we're getting at. You're working too hard. And that's why we're trying to get you to go general. As you go general, you work less hard. You find that vibrational place. Friends, we're out here on the leading edge of this, and we're going to stay here and go beyond where we are. But if you will let this week be the opportunity to use your power of general deliberately, and then enjoy the specifics that fill in, by the time you get off this ship, you'll have this. Well, what do I do? How do I learn? How do I be smarter? by going general. I understand the laws of the universe. I believe that I offer a point of attraction. I want to be happy. I want to be happy, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be happy. I'm willing to stop being responsible if it's necessary to being happy. Now, that's interesting. I'm not going to take on more than is mine to take on. I'm not going to try to control the world. I'm not going to try to control what others are thinking or doing. Lighter, lighter, lighter. I'm going to trust that they all have an inner being. I'm going to trust that they will find their way. I'm going to look for my way and trust that others will find theirs. Lighter, 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 lighter. We're not supposed to ever get it all figured out. There's always more to figure out, more, more, more. I'm going to use my point of attention right here and now, my point of power, which is where me and me converge. It's where the non-physical inner being me and the physically focused me is where we converge. I'm going to converge right here in this now moment, and I'm going to feel good while I do it. I'm going to feel good. So then you turn on the television and there's something troubling. Turn it off. Right. You keep thinking about it. Change the subject in your mind. Somebody calls you. It's upsetting. Hang up. As you keep thinking about it, you're still upset. Change the subject. In other words, just keep reminding yourself, I'm going to tend to my point of attraction, which mostly means I'm going to mind my own business, which mostly means I'm going to do my best to feel good as best as I can. And I'm getting better and better and better and better and better at this.